Welcome to round 4 of the West Bank Super Series in Welkom, Phakisa. This is the Bridgestone production cars.
Round 4 in the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, and this time around we find ourselves inland at a very cold Welkom at the Phakisa Freeway. Plenty of excitement ahead and a slightly revised program as we unleash a 2-hour endurance race on top of 2 sprint races. Can the A-Class field take advantage of a non-appearance of Anthony Taylor? More about that later.
For more information on the West Bank Super Series, visit our website www.westbanksuperseries.co.za or SMS the word motorsports to 31329 and stay in the loop.
So once again, it's down to the all-important qualifying, and the S4s are in town, Greg.
Certainly are, and there's another one that's joining the S4 battle. Michael Stephen looked good in the Engine Extreme Audi, pushed hard in qualifying, but then it was all about Poulter and Priest's car. Melville Priest, of course, absolutely hauling, flying the flag high, but being outgunned by his stablemate, who joins us for a long, long time off. That's Etienne van der Linde. Henny Grunewald then moved to the front end, and it was going to be the Subaru who would be on pole position. And a great effort there from the Subaru team. Etienne van der Linde lining up alongside him.
So on the second row, Melville Priest and Michael Stephen in the other S4 Audi.
Into the back, we pick up on Pinard and Johan Free. He's now in that S4 and looking to improve.
Chop Sabuka in the other S4 Audi, and then Marco de Cunha in the 350Z Nissan.
Last man on the grid, Paulo de Cunha in the 350Z, looking forward to a great race.
Notoriously a driver's circuit, but the man who was quickest in qualifying in Class A, Henny Grunewald, well done. You must be delighted.
Yeah, happy. You know, it's Team Sassel Subaru's first pole position for the year, and we've really been trying hard to get that. You know, it's really worth helping you to get that first heat win possibly and some points. So you know, it's been a push to get this, and to have it with a little bit of a margin for a change is really nice.
Standing with Etienne van der Linde, who is filling for Anthony Taylor and Team Afrox BMW. You must be absolutely delighted. Second fastest man, you're on the front row.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Haven't been driving for 3 years, so I'm still a bit rusty, but yeah, it seems like I can still drive a car half decent, and yeah, it should make for an interesting race.
Looking a bit pensive, but Anthony Taylor worried very much because he's on the sideline and he won't be racing at all today. So championship points are up for grabs, Steve. As we go down for sprint race number 1, it's going to be Grunewald who leads them out.
Yeah, looking forward to this indeed, and what a great racetrack it is. The drivers love this. So This is for all the nuts and bolts, and without an Anthony Taylor in this field today, this is the time that most of the drivers and the teams are going to have a chance to jump and get some gaps between the BMWs. Right now, we're on board with Etienne van der Linde. Have you noticed that the odometer, the speedometer, you can't see it, so we can't see how fast he's really going?
No, he's absolutely flying, I'll tell you something, because these guys are not holding anything back. It's BMWs 2 and 3 behind the Subaru there. And I think Henny Groenewald has got some plans of his own to maybe just leap forward in this championship and try and take advantage of the fact that Taylor is not there. Look in the background, though, the Audi's starting to spread out. The Individual Audi there of Johan Fourie, remember that is now an S4. So he stepped up the game and he's into the mix. And in the usual suspects there, watch out for Chops Phakisa, just ahead of the 2 350Zs.
Yeah, in fact, Chops was actually earlier on in the morning was saying, you know what, I went a little bit faster than what the times were showing, so he was a bit grumpy about that. But I'm sure if he wants to make a statement, he's got to do it on the track anyway.
The statement's about to be made by his teammate because he's looking for a way past Etienne van der Linde. Now, van der Linde hasn't been in a car for a long, long time, so might just have a little bit of rust there. Look at the pressure being put on by Michael Steven. He goes up right up underneath the Akrapovic's exhaust pipe on the BMW. As they go down the back straightaway, he pulls out, and there's a possibility of that S4 sneaking through. Not quite got the grunt, and that's what we need to take into account. We're at altitude once again. We've got superchargers, turbochargers, and normally aspirated cars out there, and the turbocharged cars seem to have a slight advantage here.
I would agree with you as well, but right now, Henny Groenewald set the fastest lap in qualifying, and that gets him on pole position, a 1:44. In fact, one of the driver was only doing a 1:44, and of course, we're looking for it. Much excitement. Richard Pinard, a great improvement as well, but nice to see Johan Fourie in that brand new S4. We've been waiting for it for such a long time, Greg.
Yeah, we certainly have. He's there now, and the other S4 looking for a way through to third place. But Etienne van der Linde doing the absolutely awesome job of the tail gunner role in the team and defending that third place and allowing his teammate Melville Priest to get away and go and do battle with the front end of the field, and that is Henny Groenewald. So the battle at the front. Oh, look at this. Chops Phakisa and Johnny Fury side by side. Johan Fourie sneaks through. Oh, that's good driving, just maintaining that position. But the pressure is definitely on, and Phakisa is the man forcing it.
Yeah, I was bumping into somebody the other day and they were saying, you know, how come the 350Z Nissans aren't performing as well or what they could do? And I'm going, well, look, you know what, they're not making up the numbers. They're there. They're very, very good. And both of those drivers can really turn a wheel on these cars. We're looking for more. Well, we did see the 370 unveiled, and they were doing some testing with that car. Hopefully, it'll be unveiled proper in Alders Trabanti.
Well, Alders Trabanti is where we might see the debut of the 370Z. Right now, it's Henny Groenewald who's going to take the first victory because, unfortunately, it looks like Priest hasn't been able to catch onto the back end. He's run with him, but hasn't found a way past. There are 2 corners to go. It's a double right-hander, a little flick to the left-hand side, and the Sasso Subaru of Henny Groenewald will take the first victory. But it's going to be BMWs 2 and 3 because Etienne van der Linde has done a phenomenal job and has maintained that third place right the way through. No one could catch Groenewald, but remember now, Steve, we go to an inverted grid, and hopefully we're going to see a little bit more action in the sprint race. But remember, these guys are all hanging tight because there is a 2-hour endurance race coming up later.
Yeah, 100%, Greg, and of course that counts for double the points as well. But in saying that, it's a nice way for Henny Groenewald to get the day underway, 10 points in the bag. Let's have a look at the confirmation of the results. Race number 1, Henny Groenewald in the Sasso Subaru, Melville Priest, Etienne van der Linde, Michael Steven, and Richard Pinard in 5th. And in 6th, it's Johan Fourie. Chops Phakisa coming up, Paula Acuna, and Marco Acuna.
And you didn't really have much of a problem out there. The package is absolutely fantastic. The car looks really good.
Yeah, it's definitely come to Phakisa and it's been hooked up. And as I said earlier, you know, it's really, this was an important race. You know, it's if you can get that pole and you can get the 10 points, it really helps you set up for the day that you've got a couple in the bag. And from here, it's where it gets difficult. You know, as soon as the inversion starts, it gets pretty scrappy. But, you know, we've really got a solid car, so we have to make it work for us in this heat.
Inverted grid, how many cars are going to be inverted? Looks like 6 cars inverted. And will we ever see a standing start? I don't think so. Rolling start is the option because the man on the front row, of course, is Johan Fourie.
Well, let's see how long he can keep it ahead of the rest of the field. They haven't really turned a lot of the wheel on that car, so this is a whole new area for them.
Lights are out and we're racing down to turn 1. Pinard on the outside. We were on board with van der Linde. On the inside, it's... Whoa, look at Michael Steven sneaking through there. He might get up in a second ahead of Pinard. It's going to be tight between the two of them as they go through turn 1. Forcing Pinard slightly wide, but great driving from the two of them. And Michael Steven makes it S4s 1 and 2.
So the Audis on a charge at the moment, and of course those BMWs. Now tell me, what's the thing that comes to mind when you think about the noise of that BMW? Doesn't it sound like a stealth bomber?
Yeah, it's got a brand new Akrapovic exhaust pipe on it, and of course they had the option of running the twin-turbo engine, which they stuck to. They had a single-turbo engine that they had homologated for this race, but decided it wasn't giving enough power, so Etienne and Melville running the twin turbos for this time out.
All right, as we see on the clock there, that needle is not moving. Normally we get to see how fast they're going. Maybe that's giving away too much other information to the other teams.
Yeah, they want to keep it top secret there, I think. Look at this, though. Henny Groenewald has moved up and got ahead of Melville Priest, but it's Pinard who's forcing the Audis into some big pressure. Another great drive from Etienne van der Linde. I've got to say, he's been out of the car for nearly 2 years, climbs back into the pilot's seat, and is already half-flying at the front. As we go into the back straightaway, this is the double right-hander. It was Audi side by side. It's Indy Oil Audi S4 of Johan Ferrari leading out, but check out Pinard on the inside of Michael Stephen, using a little bit of extra curb and gets up the inside. Awesome driving.
Yeah, big improvements from Richard Pinard as well, and of course that team knows what they're doing at the moment. But at the moment, here at Phakisa, it's Johan Ferrari in the Oil Audi S4, and I'll tell you what, I'm impressed with this car. It's looking really good, Greg.
Priest up the third. He just gets Pinard on his inside. Can he go around the outside? He's going to try and hold that outside line because he knows the left hand is coming. Oh, Pinard taps him. Pinard taps him out, and oh, Chopsapuka nowhere to go. T-Bone City, baby. Chopsapuka, I'll have mine medium rare, please.
Okay, I think we're going to get a replay of that, I'm sure. Let's have a look at how it all unfolds, and here we go.
Just coming in there, you see that Pinard's on the inside. He hasn't got the line. And Priest just nowhere to go for Chopsapuka. He gets spun out, Sapuka goes T-boning in, and we have a safety car.
Yeah, with good reason. I mean, it's parked right in the middle of that track. They're going to have to get some stuff down. I look like I saw some fluids there. But anyway, we're underway. Safety car behind Johan Ferrari. This is going to actually bode well for him in this sprint race. He needs 10 points if he can grab it.
Dude, boding well. Let's speak about boding well with Henny Groenewald in 4th place. It has now played into his hands dramatically here. He's in 4th place and has a chance of sneaking through on his teammate. Now, if Pinard plays the teammate role, he might just let Groenewald through early on and allow him to go and do battle with those two Audis. Ferrari leads out on the restart. It's Michael Stephen in 2nd. Pinard is 3rd. Here comes Henny. And then the first of the BMWs and the only BMW out there at this stage, because of Priest's demise, it is going to be Etienne van der Linde.
Yeah, losing 2 cars, Chops, and of course Melville Priest at the moment. But I'll tell you what, Etienne van der Linde is still in there. And of course, he has not driven for about 3 years.
Look at this. That's exactly what I expected. Pinard just moves over and allows the teammate through. So the team role is going to be played here by Sassel Subaru as they head down towards the toe of the boot. It's going to be up to Henny Groenewald to try and catch the 2 Audi S4s. And the way that Ferrari is driving, I don't think anybody's going to catch him. He has improved every single session here at Phakisa. The car is getting better and better. And remember, on Friday morning, it was the first time that car turned a wheel in anger.
No, absolutely. I mean, they have been battling with it in development stages, some overheating problems as well. But, you know, really, in essence, most of the teams have. So it's a new car, and Johan Ferrari is not a new driver by any stretch of the
Change up, Steve. Sorry to jump in. Check this out. 2nd place. Henny Groenewald is now moved up ahead of Michael Stephen and is looking for a double victory at the start of the day's racing. The first sprint race went to him. Has Ferrari got what it takes to keep him behind? It's basically all-wheel drive and quattro systems at the front end. The only rear-wheel drive car at this stage is Etienne van der Linde, and van der Linde is not too far off either. All 5 cars split by less than a second and a half. There is nothing in it between these top 5. Great racing as always in Bridgestone production cars.
I love your enthusiasm, but I'll tell you what, I don't think this is done and dusted at the moment because Henny Groenewald, as we know, having a look on the outside, he's got the grunt. I don't think this is over right now. Johan Ferrari has got to really block as much as he can right now because that Subaru is very quick. Has a look around the outside, then ducks on the inside. He's under constant pressure. Ferrari knows this, and here he comes. He's on a charge, side by side.
Yeah, side by side down this back straight. Little touch between the two of them. All Rubbing's racing in the background. You can see a bit of debris going flying. But Groenewald is going to try and drive around the outside of Johan Ferrari as they go into Coca-Cola's corner. This is the corner coming up next, the left-hander. It is Henny Groenewald who's got the inside line, and he's got what it takes on the brakes. He goes to the front. What great driving. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely, because he stuck it on the outside for 2 corners, knowing full well he was going to get the inside line. That is brilliant driving, as you say.
3 corners back, he set that up, and now looks like Stephen's going to capitalize as well. Michael Stephen, he's going to try and do the same thing. Ferrari's not going to allow him to do that. It's S4 battle for 2nd place, and Pinard, while he's in there too, he's going to go for 3rd. Pinard sneaks up. He uses the inside line again. This time he gets it right.
Fantastic from Richard Pillard. The Subarus are really motoring at the moment. So, Kenny Grunewald, you hunt for... Oh, look at that. Pillard gets in front of Michael Stephen at the moment. Brilliant driving.
Awesome driving from the Subarus. They've just snuck ahead and added a little bit of a spice to the sandwich at the front end. Now they come into the double right-hander. There's nothing in between them. Michael Stephen tries to go on the outside. He's going to get forced wide by Etienne van der Linde. Van der Linde all of a sudden is involved in the action. As I said, 5 cars, and any one of these guys can win it.
Yeah, and also looking at the top 5 drivers as well. They're all out there in this field. Either bar Anthony Taylor, Etienne van der Linde doing a superb job. So, Kenny Grunewald wins it. That's 2 back-to-back. Brilliant. Your Humphreys in the mix as well. That's big points.
He's going to be very happy with the performance of that Audi, considering that's only the second time it's raced in anger, and it takes a second place in its second race. Brilliant stuff from Jan Fourie. Pinard finished up in 3rd place. Michael Stephen in 4th, and Etienne van der Linde makes up the top 5. An awesome drive from him. Then we go to Paolo da Cunha, Chop Sapuka, Melville Priest, and Marco, unfortunately with DNFs.
No stopping this Subaru at the moment. You've got the race pace, the package. Looks invincible.
Yeah, I think that's what we needed. You know, you never know what's going to happen in an endurance race, but we've seen the Audi take a pole and 2 wins in PE, start off of the day. So for us to come and do that, yeah, I'm just so happy. You know, on this track, the all-wheel drive, I think, just stands out compared to the opposition. And so, yeah, just happy for Team Sassel Subaru.
Hi, I'm Tanit Gardner from Team Sassel Subaru. Join us at Port Elizabeth, 6th of August. See you there.
And we'll see you just after the break for the Class T sprint races. Steve, we move on to Class T now, and qualifying, as you said, in the Class A is a very, very difficult affair. To get everything right and to get this circuit right is not easy. Graham Nathan tried hard, but unfortunately he was going to be outgunned today.
Certainly on the times of the day, watch out for Sean Dumity in the Ford as well. But, most importantly, a charging Gennaro Bonafide needs to get points this weekend.
Bonafide in the GTI. He was outdone as well by Gary Famato, who looked like he was going to hold pole position. But on the very last little section of qualifying, it was the Opel OPC Astra of Michael van Rooyen that hit the front and put it on pole. So it's Opel and Ford on the front row with van Rooyen and Famato, your top 2.
Of course, there's a nice little dice on the second row, Gennaro Bonafide and Sean Dumity.
Watch out for Big Nate coming from the back end. He'll be alongside his stablemate, Kieran Kwambi.
Of course, it doesn't end there, but on the next row, Ebrahim Levy and Nissam Essa, both in the GTIs.
At the back end, Michelle Singh in his 120 diesel, BMW improving every time.
You, the package, the team are having an outstanding time at the moment.
Thanks, Steve. It's been awesome. We didn't expect this to be this far ahead. I can't believe it, but the car was fantastic. I can't tell you how good it was this morning on the new tires. The team did a fantastic job. Some improvements coming this weekend, and it just everything fell together.
Standing here with Gary Famato on the front row for qualifying. Well done. We didn't think you were going to make it. You left it to the very last lap to put in a really good time.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I mean, just the handling of the car wasn't as we would like this morning. So, you know, when I did try and push, you break a little later and you try a little hard on the new tyres, but there was nothing there. So I had to just really back it off and cool the tyres down and at least put in a lap for qualifying. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. I didn't really want to start at the back, but yeah, look, it's going to be a tough day, I think. This sort of track we're battling, I think that the weight's affecting these front-wheel drive cars quite a bit. So over the distance, it's going to be quite a challenge.
team. Some amazing racing so far in the Class A's, and Class T never ever fails to deliver the action that is required for Bridgestone production cars. On the front end, it is the Williams Hunt OPC that will go at the front to try and get the first victory in the bag.
So, pole man it is, setting a really blistering time. It is the OPC Opel Astra, Michael van Rooyen. He's going to have a lot of pressure coming up from behind him. One of those will be Bonafide, the other will be Gary Formato.
Yeah, Gary Formato right on his tail, but Gennaro Bonafide already being shown the way around. Little tap there. Oh, tappity tap from all three cars, and Germany gets into the action.
Oh, look at these two.
Where are you going? Oh, sideways stuff from SN Singh. And the BM and the GTI, well, it looks like he's running a bit of polo cross action there, because it looks like he's got a bit of a four-wheel drive on that GTI.
So, Formato is just chasing down lead at the moment from Michael van Rooyen, but Big Nate is on the charge. Bonafide's been outgunned there. He has already dropped 2 places.
A little bit of redemption there, I think, from Gennaro Bonafide, but Germany sneaks ahead of him, and a little action between himself and Nate cost him the drive, and Germany sneaks through into 4th place. Graham Nathan already up to 3rd, looking to close down on Formato, as we see his teammate sneaking ahead of Gennaro Bonafide. So Bonafide, the man on the move now, but moving backwards, not where he wants to be. He wants to be moving forward, and just to give you an indication there, Steve, little black smoke coming out of Germany's car is not a problem. That's the extra fuel going in every time he comes on the accelerator, and it just blasts that fuel out and gives a big puff of black smoke.
So Nate on the charge in 3rd at the moment. Bonafide's going to have to make up something. Gary Formato is looking dangerous in 2nd place on the championship with a -6 points deficit at the moment. He's going to need points.
He's got to catch Van Rooyen, and Van Rooyen, the Rustenburg rocket, is absolutely hauling. This William Hunt OPC has been a very, very quick car, and now that it's got to the front end and Michael Van Rooyen's got to grips with it, whoa, Formato sideways. He's going to be a tough man to beat, but if you've got Formato and Nathan coming sideways into the double right-hander, you are definitely going to be in for a great race, because I think it's now time to go mono on mono.
You know, they can let it all hang out in these sprint races, because in knowing the fact that they've got an extra 4 tyres for the endurance race, so they can just concentrate right now on the sprint races, is what they're doing at the moment. And charging is Formato. Don't discount him. Also, Sean Duminy will be in the mix, I promise you.
Ooh, change up here for what is 5th place on the road. Kieran Kwambi forcing his ex-stablemate wide, and Gennaro Bonafide falling back behind the tyres in transit, man. And they're now side by side. Oh, Gennaro's on the dirt. Gennaro comes back onto the stuff and then gets forced back onto the dirt. Oh, he's having a tough time out there. Really having to go wing mirror to wing mirror here with the 2 GDIs.
Yeah, Kwambi cuts across there. He picked up the right line as well. I thought Bonafide might have actually gone through that gap, but a little bit of intelligence prevailed.
I think just tapping out of it was not a bad option, because if he'd gone in hard, they probably both would have ended up in the Omco barrier on the left-hand side. They're now in the toe of the boot, heading up towards Coca-Cola corner. And look in the front there. It is Graham Nathan putting massive pressure. Here we go, onto Gary Formato. And Formato now has his hands full of the India Oil GDI.
Well, this is going to bode well for Van Rooyen at the moment, because, you know, in the rearview mirror, he's going to see these 2 tackling. Gary has got to go large. He's got to go wide, too, because here comes Nathan.
ST versus GTI, and once again some big black smoke. The BP fuel is working double time on that car as they go up to the double right-handers. This is going to take them onto the back straight. If Graham Nathan is able to get into the slipstream, he might be able to outdo the man down the straightaway. There you see Formato moves out. He can't get into the slip, but Graham tucks in behind him again, coming into the fastest part of the circuit and not able to sneak through just yet, but he is definitely setting something up.
You know, Greg, they are absolutely flat out in that section as well. Not even lifting off the throttle.
There you can see it's Gary Formato, 4-wheel drifting out of that right-hander, now into the double right. Final corner about to come up. Graham Nathan's going to go on the inside. Has he got what it takes on the brakes? He's going to be later than Gary, but he wasn't this time. He's just showing the wheel. Gary Formato is just watching those rearview mirrors all the time going, okay, which side is he coming? I wouldn't know where to put my wheel in, because I'll tell you something. Gary Formato and Graham Nathan are having one of the best starts we've seen.
Yeah, looking good. Further back in the field, though, down that back straight, we saw Kieran Kwambi and Gennaro Bonafide. Now, maybe he's thinking, I can't make any impression in the first race. If there is a reverse grid, sticks me on front row.
No, that's a good possibility. So, not bad thinking there, but more importantly, you need to get the results, you need to get the points. Higher up in the results you get, the more points you do. So, right now, oh, man, where is Formato? He's gone on the inside. Graham might have got the drive here. That is so close, man. Oh, that's awesome. Now it's all about braking. Who's going to have what it takes on the brakes? It's Nathan. Nathan sneaks through to second place. Formato has been betted.
Have you noticed, Greg, the driving styles at the moment? The word has been down. Listen, drive or else we discipline you. It looks a lot better at the moment.
Yeah, disciplinary action for these drivers if they get it out of shape has definitely been sorted out. So has the performance equalization formula, which is why we are so close and why Graham Nathan can come from 5th place and is already up to 2nd, looking for a way past Michael van Rooyen. But the Rustenburg Rocket is not going to let him through. I can tell you something, Van Rooyen wants this victory and he wants it big time.
Yeah, well, you know what? Graham Nathan can't drive over the top of him. So if he keeps it steady, keeps a good line, which he's doing, I just love the way these cars are drifting around the scene. Oh, around the outside. Has a look. Oh, no, what a better line. OPC Opel Astro from Michael van Rooyen. The Rustenburg Rocket, as you say, is driving handsomely.
He certainly is, but it's going to be the victory going to that Opel, because Graham Nathan tried everything. He tried a late outbreaking maneuver. He tried even drifting into the double right-hander. It wasn't enough, but it will give him 2nd place, and the Indy Oil GTI will follow home Michael van Rooyen's OPC. And then Gary Formato sitting in 3rd place going, where did it all go wrong?
Well, I can't wait for the second race. If we re-invert the grid, it's going to be a second row of Fords.
Confirmation of the result, Michael van Rooyen in the Williams Hunt Opel takes the victory ahead of Graham Nathan in the GTI. Gary Formato, Sean Duminy and Kieran Kwambi, the top 5.
Looks like Gennaro Bonafide will be praying for a good draw. Michelle Singh was there, Nizam Essa, and Ephraim Levy was last in 9th.
You were brought under a lot of pressure near the end. You must have made that car quite wide.
Well, Steve, in the beginning, I got quite a gap, and I thought, yes, this is going to be an easy race. And after 2 laps, Graham just kept coming and coming. And with 2 laps to go, he was on me, and I had to block a few times, and that Golf was extremely quick. Of course, I had the extra weight. He doesn't. It makes a huge difference, but it makes for close racing. So I'm so glad to have come a winner out of that heat.
When you come from the back to the front now, that's what we need to ask ourselves. Rolling start, 6 cars inverted, which means it is GTIs 1 and 2, Fords 3 and 4, and then another GTI in the OPC, 5 and 6.
But hang on, there's no Graham Nathan. Hang on a second, there he is. He's in the pits.
Graham Nathan in pit lane gone into limp mode, so all of a sudden, Michael van Rooyen has an opportunity. Whoa, Kwambi kept napping on the line, and he's going to fall down. It's 4 cars abreast. Oh, man, that is amazing stuff. 4 cars side by side into turn 1. Formato's going to win out here. Looks like Duminy might hang on to 2nd place. Bonafide is trying hard to get that 2nd away from Duminy. And then it's Kwambi around the outside. Comes Van Rooyen. Can he sneak through?
What did I tell you? 2nd row of Fords was going to be in the mix. They've caused troubles already. Brilliant. Sean Duminy, Gary Formato, Bonafide. Where did he come from?
Duminy's out front. Bonafide's 2nd. Kwambi is in 3rd place. So the pole man has dropped down 1 position. The 2nd man has dropped down 2 positions. And here comes the OPC, moving up on the inside of Kwambi. He might be able to sneak through. He's forced a little bit wide and right on the tailpiece now. Formato, look, just on the left-hand side. He picked up the yellow there of the tyres in Transit GTI. But the big loss here is Graham Nathan. He is not in the race at all. Stuck in pit lane, stuck in limp mode, and had to reboot the car.
Michael van Rooyen is going to have to push and push hard. Kwambi is his buffer at the moment. He needs to get past him as quickly as possible. Of course, look at that. Oh, down the outside. Has he got it? Can he do it?
That's an amazing bit of driving if he can. I don't think he's going to be able to. Kwambi will probably just tuck in on the inside. But if he gets the drive now onto the back straight, here comes Slipstream City. And Van Rooyen should pull out and go past the GTI.
Yeah, I think you called it, nailed it. In the meantime, the Ford's leading out. Bonafide needs some points. He's got to do something. He's had some problems with the car. Maybe they've rectified it.
Hopefully they have, because he's right in contention now for a victory. He goes a bit wide. Oh, Duminy taking that inside line. Caught out Gennaro Bonafide, and Formato nearly tapped the back in him. Oh, BMW in the way. We knew that was coming. We saw that in Class A, which means safety car is about to come out. And that is going to play into the hands of Gennaro Bonafide. Oh, and as he says that, he taps Duminy coming into the main straight. The safety car boards are out. Ooh, might have a little chat with the COC about that one.
Yeah, but consider this. Well, listen, if Graham Nathan can get his car back on track, can he join the race?
Yes, he can, and he's at the back end, and he's in 2nd last place. So it's Graham Nathan who is a big winner out of this one. Hopefully he can get through the field. It's not easy because there's only a couple laps to do it in. And it's 1 and 2 Fords. Formato's at the front too, and he's now playing the blocking role, keeping Bonafide and Van Rooyen out. There's Kwambi. There's Nathan.
Oh.
They're there. The usual contenders, as always. Look for Michael van Rooyen. He was quickest in race number 1. He took the victory. He's looking to go around the outside and possibly steal 3rd place. He's gone around the outside. What a bit of driving there from Van Rooyen. Man, this man is on fire at the moment.
What have they put in that car at the moment? Whatever it is, I want some.
Yeah, I'd love some, please. Can we get some that fits into a road-going version too, please? On the inside line, there you can see blocking roll from Germany, doing exactly what he needs to do to make sure that his teammate is going to secure this victory. But Bonafide's not done yet. He's on the inside here. Watch out for him. He's going to be blocked by Germany, and Van Rooyen's going to drive around the outside of Coca-Cola. This is awesome driving. Can you believe this? Great stuff in Class T.
In the meantime, Gary Formato, the BP Castrol Ford Focus ST, is streaming ahead.
He's getting away because these guys are a little in-house battle, and they can't find a way past Sean Duminy yet. Duminy doing a magnificent roll here.
Superb.
On board with Bonafide as we go into the double right-hander. Watch for the drive here. If he can get good drive, he needs to get right onto the tailpiece and the exhaust pipe of the Williams Hunt Opel.
Yeah, Greg, it's only a matter of time. I reckon that OPC is way, way more powerful than that Sean Duminy Ford Focus at the moment. Watch out. I don't think this is done and dusted, but if it does happen, can he lead Gennaro Bonafide through with him?
Oh, there's a big move there. Look at that. Oh, Van Rooyen's around the outside. Bonafide's on his inside. Here comes Nathan and Kwambi. 3 GTIs, a Ford and an Opel going at it, and going at it big time here. Look, oh man, where is he finding the drive out there? Michael Van Rooyen runs wide again, but he still manages to get the drive. No, he doesn't. Graham Nathan's going to outdo him as they come into the final corner. Whoa, they were very close. Well done, Michael Van Rooyen, for coming back at Nathan. But Kwambi's on his tail. There are 3 GTIs, all hassling, but they still haven't found a way past Germany.
The surprising thing at the moment, Greg, is, they're not even on the racing line at the best of times. They're finding grip where you shouldn't be finding grip.
That's how well these Bridgestone tyres work, I suppose. They come out of turn number 1. It is Bonafide hassling the back end. We're on board with that. Well, we were on board there with Van Rooyen. He's in 4th place, but he's got massive pressure coming from the biggest man in motorsport, Graham Nathan, looking for a way to go on the inside. There's late braking. Bonafide sneaks up and closes up on Duminy, but still doesn't find a way past. And you can see Van Rooyen is getting frustrated. He's getting the tap onto the back end of Bonafide, and he's saying, come on, we've got to get past. Formato is disappearing.
Yeah, you've got to take your hat off as well. I think Gennaro Bonafide is driving a very good race at the moment, using a lot of his head at the moment in this race. Can he get around the outside? He'll have a look. But I tell you what, the danger isn't from the Ford, it's from the OPC, Michael Van Rooyen. Oh, he's on the inside. I think he's got Duminy. Eventually, Gennaro gets through, and here comes Michael Van Rooyen. He's going to lead them through. And then watch out for Nate, Doc. Here he is.
Yeah, Nate's right there as well. It was Bonafide who opened up the door. Here comes Van Rooyen. He's going to try and run around the outside. He's got him. He's gone around the outside of Duminy. Duminy holds onto that inside line. They are side by side through one of the trickiest corners in motorsport in South Africa. Oh, look at Nathan. Nathan comes into the play too. And here comes Kwambi. Oh man, who's going to win this race? I'm not even talking anymore. These guys are blowing me away.
Fantastic. Graham Nathan on the brakes hard. Doesn't want to run into Sean Duminy, but I tell you what, Sean Duminy has done his job. Formato's gone, and he's heading for a win.
Yeah, Gennaro Bonafide's got through, and he's now trying to close down, but here comes Nathan. Will Nathan be able to drive around? We've just seen Michael Van Rooyen go around the outside. He wasn't able to do it, but Graham Nathan, he cuts onto the inside and sneaks between. Oh, how did he get through Duminy and Kwambi? There was just enough space to get a GTI in, and he's put it in there.
Kwambi's already thinking, I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be there either, Brood. Let me tell you, this is not how you... Oh, a little tap between Kwambi and Van Rooyen. Here comes Essa. Now, all of a sudden, there's another man thrown into the mix. This is awesome racing. This is what you get out of Bridgestone production cars.
Sir, let's get our breath back, because it's been fantastic, mind-blowing, in fact. So, the final lap, it is Gary Formato. His teammate's done a superb job.
He has, but unfortunately, it's now in 4th place for Duminy. He held the blocking roll for a long, long time, but now just managed to keep Van Rooyen out. The other 2 GTIs of Bonafide and Nathan have snuck through into 2nd and 3rd place, but Formato will take the victory after an immense battle. The war is not done yet, because remember, the championship is still up for grabs, but this has just blown this championship wide open. Formato with the victory, 2nd place going to Gennaro Bonafide, 3rd place, a great drive from Graham Nathan, but a very lucky one from him. Then Germany comes through in 4th place, just ahead of the Opel OPC of Michael Van Rooyen. Abraham Levy comes through in 6th place, ahead of Kiram Kwambi, Michelle Singh, and Essa with a DNF.
Notice you came into the pits having some problems with the car.
Yeah, I did have a gremlin in the motor car. I came in and reset the car, and off we went again. I got very, very fortunate. Somebody made a mistake in Class A, and there was a safety car scenario, so we could get onto the back of the field, which was brilliant because it made for superb racing for two or three laps, where myself and Sean and Michael and Gennaro were like so close. It was like crazy stuff, but yet a lot of respect. Strange for me, naturally, but yeah, we didn't bend any panels and had a great race. Finished 3rd, and superb.
Gennaro Bonafide, race number 2, second. Not a bad result considering.
Yeah, no, look, we struggled in the first race, overheating. We've had it the whole weekend, so I was short shifting just to save the motor for the 2-hour enduro. But thankfully in the second race there we got some clear air. Sean drove a brilliant defensive race. I mean, Gary got ahead, and it was wild out there, but managed to finally get past Sean, and then, you know, from then on it was just a couple laps till the end.
You did what you had to do, but I'll tell you what, you had a great teammate out there as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, Sean's proved on a number of occasions to be probably the best teammate I could have ever had. I mean, really, he supported me a lot. And also, you know, in the races like this, in a competitive field, you know, when they get into a tussle like that, it helped me get away. So it was important that I did get away that heat. I damaged two of my front tyres in the first heat. And as you know, we've got the 2-hour race later on today. And obviously that cuts down our tyres by 2. So I just really want to look after the tyres this heat. So I'm very grateful that they were all battling as hard as they were. It looked great from the rearview mirror, but I was just looking after my tyres.
Hi, I'm Michael van Rooyen from the Williams Hunt Opel Racing Team. Join us on the 6th of August for our next round in Port Elizabeth. See you there.
The sprint races were good. Do not move from your seats, because coming up, it's the 2-hour endurance race. Steve, here we go with the endurance race. And I'll tell you something, it's going to be a slightly different look and feel to what we had in the sprint races, because these guys now have to conserve tires. They've got to make sure that the cars last for all 2 hours. And remember, there's driver change-ups that's going to be happening right the way through this.
All right, so let's get right back to the basics at the moment in terms of leading out this 2-hour endurance race at Phakisa. So Kenny Groenewald, because he set the fastest qualifying lap in race 1, means he goes to pole position. He will carry success ballast based on his championship position at the moment. So, all to look forward to. Are you ready for 2 hours, Greg?
I'm looking forward to this. I'll tell you something, a completely different format of racing for these guys. Just hope that we're going to get the same kind of racing that was expected. See the D'Cunha boys going at it early on, and it looks like the Audis are going at it too. But further back, Class T starts out with Van Rooyen on pole, and then the GTI is followed by the 2 Fords, or behind the 2 Fords for now, but it should be a matter of time before we see some race action. Looks like Nathan might be having a little problems here. Look at Quamby pulling away from him. I think he probably has the same limp mode hassle that he had earlier on. Yeah, with Michelle Singh sneaking through, there's definitely a problem on Nathan's car. He's going to have to go in for an early pit stop.
Any idea what you think that problem might be?
Well, in the second sprint race, he came in and the car had gone completely into limp mode. They had to stop the car, reboot the computer, and then get him out again. And fortunately, he was able to get up to 3rd place. So if he gets in early, he might still be able to make up the ground that he loses in his pit stop, because remember, they've got to be in the pit lane for 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And 3 of those to boot.
So this might be an unscheduled stop, but he might be able to make it work for him. But further up the field in Class A, a battle between Pinard and Stephen. And in fact, in Michael Stevens' car right now, it's Terry Moss. Can you believe it? The old man of the mountains from Audi is out there and running at the front end of the field and showing these boys he's still got what it takes.
Look at Marco D'Cunha in that 350Z Nissan. Unbelievable. Around the outside he went there. I didn't think he had so much grunt. Have a look at the inside here. It's Richard Pinard as well. Oh, he taps Terry Moss. He's not going to be like that. I bet you Terry's going to have a few words to say.
I think he might go get a bit of retribution. Keeps the car running. Remember the last time that we had a South African Touring Car Championship? In fact, the last round was held here at Phakisa Freeway, and he won that race. So there's a good possibility we'll see him sneaking back through the field as they come in. Awesome driving from Terry Moss. He's now in a production car and going all at it.
Yeah, and I also notice he still fits his race suit very well, too.
He does indeed. Paulo da Cunha looking to try and close up on the back end of his brother. His brother's going on the inside of Phakisa, looking for a way through and finding it. So this is a nice little battle at the back end of the field. We can see Pinard just up front, and then just ahead of him, Johan Fourie. Now, Fourie is partnering up with Kursi Swanepoel. That should be a very interesting little partnership, and the two of them are going to go at it.
So there's a nice little shot of the Class T car of Gennaro Bonafide. And in fact, all of these are Class T at the moment. Famato's in the mix. Dangerously placed at the moment in the championship. 6 points off the lead. And I'll tell you what, this endurance race will count double points. So anybody who really gets up there high is going to do their championship the world of good.
Van Rooyen would like to make it 3 out of 3 and see if he can maybe get that Opel and take another victory. Remember, he's up at the front end of the first sprint race. He's now leading out with Famato on his tail. Famato has to worry about the fact he's got Terry Moss in an Audi S4 just behind him and putting the pressure on. He's not going to worry about that. He wants to hunt down the Williams Hunt man.
Yeah, also there's another award out here in this endurance race. It's basically about driving a consistent race in terms of your lap times. They call it the
Index of Performance.
Correct.
And that's what they're all driving for as well. There will be an award for that at the end of the day's racing. And so far, the way things are going, it may just be a Class T man who outdoes the Class A boys for that index of performance. But we'll wait and see until the end of the race for that one to be won out.
Look at those lovely Q8 oil, the 350Z Nissans, Marco da Cunha, Paulo da Cunha, their brothers. It was a bit unfortunate as well because we were hoping to see the brand new 370Z Nissan. It did turn a wheel, it did some practicing in it, but I think it'll be ready for the next race. It'd be lovely to have that on board as well.
Can you imagine that pace down in Aldo Scribante? Right now, the pace at the front end starting to heat up in Class T as things start to change up dramatically here. It is Michael van Rooyen who's now got the Audi between himself and Gary Famato, so that's not a bad move. And in fact, he's putting in some really hot lap times here early on, trying to break the field a little bit, get away from Famato and put the pressure onto him.
As we can see, the temperatures are starting to dwindle down to the minus area as well. Very, very, very cold in this part of the world. And also the light will start to fade. And then we'll see some extremely, very, very good racing as well. And also, you'll see how hot these boys get on the brakes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to seeing those brake discs being lit up. Gary Famato using the brakes now and falling back slightly. There goes the Audi. I think Terry's going to just blast around his outside and get away from Van Rooyen. And now that battle will resume with Famato as we see the Class A boys going on to the back straight away. You can see just taking it a little bit more gingerly, probably 8 tenths as opposed to 10 tenths. Graham Nathan in the pits, and you can see Rob Green Motorsport at work big time.
In the air system, unfortunately, somewhere that we're trying to solve, but we'll be okay.
Should be okay to fix it, though, eh?
We're going to try, that's for sure.
Well, you can see that as the race continues on the track, frantic efforts being put in there by Rob Green Motorsport and Graham Nathan's crew to get him back on track, to close down on these guys. He's losing laps, which is going to cost him at the end of the day. But remember, these guys all have to come in at some stage and also make a pit stop. So it evens things out. The unscheduled stop, not quite in the plans for Nathan Motorsport, but he's back on track. That's a good thing.
Just before we focused on Graham Nathan, there was a nice little shot there of Marcel Singh in that BMW diesel as well. And I am encouraged to see that it is still circulating.
Speaking of BMWs, into pit lane. This is probably one of the scheduled stops here for the BMW team, and it's going to be Poulter who's on board that car at the moment. He's going to hand back to Melville Priest a bit later on. As the action continues on track, you can see frantic action being done onto the BMW to change those front wheels.
He's a former production car champion in his own right as well.
Yes, he is, and he knows how to drive these cars. I'll tell you something, look out for the battle between the BMW boys. So far, so good, buddy?
Yeah, everything's going all right. I think we just maybe have got a tyre problem now. We're just going to have to sort it out.
Part of the strategy, or was this unplanned stop?
No, not a strategy, unplanned stop, yeah.
Okay, so everything will go right as soon as you get the tyres back on, you back in the car?
Yes, yeah, we'll go back in the car.
So you can see these guys having to take it very gingerly and make sure that things go according to plan. Etienne van der Linde climbing out of the car. Richard Rutz about to go and step in. He's also been out for a while. Are you looking forward to getting out there, bud?
It's going to be awesome. A bit quicker than we expected, but let's make the best of it.
All the best, and just keep this car flying.
We'll do that.
So far, so good, mate.
Yeah, we're just running into some tyre problems. The car is so good and it's so consistent, but sadly, somehow it's just delaminating some of the rubber.
Don't feel bad, it's almost every single car, yeah.
Okay, now I feel better.
John, are getting in the car now?
John's up now for his first stint, so we'll see how it pans out from here.
I said you must be flying because these brakes are cooking.
Yeah, I know. Cooking with gas, eh? No, we're just pushing and we try to keep a consistent pace, but I don't know where we're at the moment, but things are going right.
Well, that's all good. This is all part of the plan, eh?
Yeah, not the fire, but everything else, yeah.
Scheduled stop, eh?
Yeah, pretty much scheduled stop. We were doing well up until that point. After the problems in the first race, we started at the back, and I think we had made up about 5 positions already. One of our tyres was going up like slightly late, flat spotted it. So we thought we'd put early, slightly earlier, about 2 laps earlier. Let Chris get out there and then see what happens.
You still got some pace, old man?
I got a bit of pace, but on about the second corner, I hooked the wrong gear and I lost it. Came back there and I thought I'd keep the boys behind me. And one of the Subarus got a bit cocky and touched me on the rear wheel. He's just lucky I wasn't closer to him later on. But I enjoyed it. I only started really getting into pace afterwards. Now, the rear section in 4th gear, in 5th gear, the last 3 laps I was going through there, basically full throttle. I wasn't doing that before. I was just getting into things, and I just stopped. I was starting to enjoy it. Now I had to stop. You know, how bad is that?
Simon Moss out there with no lights on, but you can see after an hour and a half, the lights are now fully ablaze, and things are starting to heat up.
Well, there's many ways you can approach this endurance race. Let's go back into the pits right now and find out what's going on.
Yeah, going well. We had an incident in the beginning. Jerry got tapped by one of the Subarus, set us back a little bit, but yeah, we went down, we did a good stint. Scheduled stop, so we see how it goes from here.
Car looks good in both sprint format and endurance format.
Yeah, I know, we really focused on the endurance setup. Hopefully we can just do the scheduled 3 stops without any more and take it to the end.
Check how difficult it is on board here with one of the BMWs, but in the pit, here's Donker and Domini. Whole nother ball game out there.
Definitely, yes. Not too many laps in the car before, and now I had to drive it in the dark.
Pretty hectic, eh?
Very hectic, but the Ford Focus ST is an awesome motor car. Great fun. Kept it on the road. Few times a little bit wide out of the corners because you can't see the apexes. And also you're running in a lower gear and that to preserve everything for the long race. And you don't have the same amount of torque to help you handle the car. So it's all getting used to. But I enjoyed it. Awesome. Great fun.
Well, there's a big thing. That is Henny Grunewald in his Subaru. That looks like that's terminal at the moment. That's going to be a pity for him and his championship aspirations.
Yeah, double race victory in the sprints, and unfortunately parked on the sideline for this one, and the safety car is out. So now things will change up dramatically here, Steve. I tell you something, if there's a safety car at this point of the race, it's now every man for themselves, and I think there's about 4 laps to go, so watch out for some serious action coming our way. Look at the BMW going on the inside, looking for a way through. Van Rooyen was leading out as they went into turn 1, but it's going to be a BMW leading out, and that should be Roots. If I'm not mistaken, is it the 111 car? Yes, it is. Just picking up on that, but watch out for Ferrari. He is going for race victory here.
Well, team principal of Subaru, Carl Pinar, was relaxed about keeping his cars going around this race circuit, but right now those good plans that he put in place for their strategy has all really just fallen apart at the moment. Henry Grunewald is going to lose out big time here, but the man on the charge,
Pinard is sideways out of turn 2. Now they come to the toe of the boot, and it's Johan Ferrari hassling him, looking for a way through. He's got through. So Ferrari's got through. Etienne van der Linde has lost out there, and Ferrari now possibly leads on the road. So with only a couple of laps to go, all of a sudden things have just opened up, and we've got a sprint race for the final part of this 2-hour endurance.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to make a point of, because, Carl Pinar said, the way to actually treat this is treat this as 3 compulsory stops of 13 or 14 laps each, so it becomes 4 sprint races in essence within the endurance race. skies.
Changing up all the time, though. You see the BMW sneaking through there, and then the Audi retaking that position. There goes Simon Moss. He's only got one light ablaze there at this stage, and this is where things can get really hair-raising. We are into the night time, big time, as you can see. You can't even see which car is which. It is definitely Johan Ferrari leading out. There you see the Indy Oil car, and behind him, it's Van der Linde, and then Steven. Oh, and Bonafide on the sideline on fire.
Cheerleader.
That's it. Is he doing the wimpy ad? Probably. Right, so only a couple of laps to go. And, oh, there's a tap. Can you believe it? Oh no.
Nathan.
Another tap there.
That's
Michelle Singh taking Nathan on. What are you doing, dude? Oh, man, there's going to be some words between them at the end of the race day. But it's Indy Oil Audi out front. Second place at this stage, just picking up on it. That is the BMW, then it's the Audi, and that's... no, it's not. It's the second BMW. So Melville Priest has now stepped up and got ahead of Steven. This is awesome stuff. Can you believe this? We've had nearly 2 hours of racing, and now it comes down to the final lap, and two BMWs have got ahead of Michael Steven. They haven't caught Ferrari, though.
Such a bad break for Gennaro Bonafide with only about a couple of laps to go. Unbelievably bad luck.
Yeah, now half a lap to go for these guys. They get onto the back straight away. They're not going to catch Ferrari. Can you believe it? First time out, and in the endurance format, Johan Ferrari is going to take this victory. He's got 2 corners to do it. Are we going to see BMWs in-house fighting? No, we're not. They're going to go through line astern and just make sure they keep Michael Steven and Terry Moss behind them.
Fantastic stuff, although you can't hear those BMWs out there, but what a great run by Johnny Fury. Magnificent.
Oh, an amazing drive from him, and Kusi Swanepoel doing an awesome effort in the car too. Remember, that's his teammate for the day, and the checkered flag is going to be coming out for the Indy Oil Audi S4. And what an awesome drive, and what an awesome format. Man, I want some more of this. Endurance racing for Bridgestone Production Cars has worked well, and Phakisa Freeway has definitely shown that this is what it's all about for the future. Sprint racing and some endurance formats thrown in for the championship. Well done, guys.
I agree with everything you said. Fantastic. Here's the celebrations.
Big celebrations for Kusi Swanepoel and Johan Ferrari. The first time out, and they take their victory in the endurance format. Great driving from Ferrari and Swanepoel. Van der Linde and Roots come through in second place. Priest and Poulter in third. Steven and Moss in fourth. And showing that the Lebs and the Forest can work together, Da Cunha and Orbi. Sapuka and Moss coming through in sixth place. Da Cunha and Morgado ahead of Henny Groenewald and Jonathan de Toy.
Results Class T, and it is Michael van Rooyen and Robinson, and of course they win the index performance as well. Dumity and Donker in second. Graham Nathan down to fifth after having a collision with Marcel Singh, and also Kieran Crombie in there in the mix. Gary Formato will not be happy with seventh.
A completely different scenario, but something that you're definitely going to treasure, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, geez, man, this must go out for all the guys, everybody to put help, everybody put effort in. It was late nights, it was hard work. We rock up here, the car never turned the wheel. The car was a bit of a disaster handling-wise. We got it better every session. We started off 3 seconds off. I think towards the end we were only 0.4 of the pace, so we definitely improved it. So there's a lot of potential, but I mean, I need to thank everybody from my boys, Dave, John, everybody, Kusi, Steven, just everybody that just helped. It put so much effort in getting this car here, and yeah. Thanks to Audi for giving us a car, but I mean, it's not perfect yet, but we're going to sort it out, bro. What a race.
Chris, from your side, buddy, you must have been praying that that safety car was going to go off so that you can have a go at the BM.
Yeah, look, I was obviously counting the minutes, and I knew Johan is in with a chance, and, you know, it was amazing, and somebody said, has he got radio? You must tell him he must go. I said, but you're talking about Johan, he's going to go by himself. And he just proved that to us, taking 5 cars, 2 laps. And to win it out like that with a brand new car without any hassles, I think we all can be very proud.
So I didn't think you could stay out for that long, buddy, but man, did you prove me wrong.
Well, it was actually not that tough. I did an hour stint, and my fast co-driver took over, got us ahead a little bit further, and I just had to finish off. Quite easily done.
Dev, an awesome bit of driving from you, got you right up and into contention. Not only that, put you third overall, bud.
Yeah, we had a decent race. Michael did a good first stint, came in, did another good stint, and then I took over, did a good stint, and then he finished off, eh?
With the double championship points up for grabs in the endurance race, Henny Groenewald is still leading, but Johan Ferrari, the biggest mover, who gets up to second place ahead of Melville Priest. Michael Steven dropping down the most, and Anthony Taylor sitting on the sideline must be ruining the day.
Looking at Class T, Graham Nathan is still dominating at the moment, but he was hurt big this round. Gary Formato making a charge as well. Gennaro Bonafide in the top 3, and Michael van Rooyen, the big mover.
Manufacturers, Volkswagen still leading out with a commanding lead over Audi. BMW is definitely closing the door, though. Subaru right in there. For more information on the Westbank Super Series, log on to their website, westbanksuperseries.co.za.
a wrap of the Bridgestone production cars. Next up is the West Bank V8 Supercars, as well as the Engine Volkswagen Cup. I'm Gugu. See you next time.